How's it going, guys? I just want to talk about Kung Fu today. And this isn't really a video about, Kung Fu is better than so and so and all that crap because I don't really like to do stuff like that. Plus, it causes a lot of drama, which I do not want because I have enough of on my channel. But I had my karate gi out here. I just wanted to show you that I come from a karate background, so there is no bias. But if I had to say my favorite style, it would be Kung Fu, and they're for the reasons I'm about to list. So yeah, I hope you guys maybe learned something from this video. If not, I'm sorry, but you don't have to watch it. If you don't like Kung Fu and you don't like Kung Fu people, then you don't have to watch this video. But anyways, so Kung Fu is much older than most styles. The only style I can think of older than Kung Fu is a style called Silat, which originates in India, and also Buddhism originates from around India as well. Not a lot of people know that. Most people think all that stuff is from China. It's actually not true. Even Jesus Christ from around that area, which is kind of fascinating. Some people believe that Jesus Christ and Buddha are both related, and I believe that could very much be true. So anyways, a little bit history, Shaolin Kung Fu. That was the first style of Kung Fu that came out about 1,000 years ago from the Shaolin temples. I believe Shaolin Kung Fu is the whole package. It's the real deal. Shaolin monks are not someone you'd want to mess with. We'll just put it that way. They're some badass people. There are other styles of Kung Fu. Basically styles like Wudang Quan, otherwise known as Wushu. I'm not a fan of the word Wushu. To me, it's just like gymnastics. That's how people see it anyways. But that came from the Wudang Mountains roughly 600, 700 years later, so it's not quite as ancient as Shaolin Kung Fu. I don't think it's as good as Kung Fu, honestly. Wudang Quan styles from there are like Tai Chi, Bagua, Baji Quan, all that stuff. That's just to me, it's kind of watered down Kung Fu. It has interesting principles based within it, but with Shaolin Kung Fu, it's everything. It's the real deal. Shaolin Kung Fu people base a lot of their movements off of animals. That's why they have different animal styles. I think that's really awesome. And I can see how some people may think, animal styles are silly and it's just stuff people did back then because they thought it was cool, but there's actually a lot of science to it. Fun fact for you, all the movements from Wing Chun are actually based off of crane style Kung Fu. Crane style is very defensive, using your arms, and like with trapping, that's all based from crane style Kung Fu. So little fun fact for you there. Mantis style is all about pressure points. It's not just about acting like an insect. It actually, there is a science to it. I used to not know this, and I used to think animal styles were kind of silly. But I believe when you can really tune yourself in with nature and the animals and the universe, I think that's when you can really evolve as a fighter. The reason I say this isn't just because of, animal styles or whatever. It's because of internal energy. This is something you're not going to learn from karate. Okay, with sports fighting, guys, it's all about winning those points. In a real fight, having the first attack isn't going to let you win the fight. But when you could really tune yourself in with the universe and get that internal energy moving in your body, it's something I can feel now. It will add power to your movements. And I think it's a very sacred, beautiful thing, quite honestly. And when you're young, when I was just a kid, I wanted to be like Karate Kid, the movie Karate Kid. It was popular in American culture, and not a lot of kids wanted to be like Shaolin monks, you know what I mean? But if I would have known about all that as a kid, then yeah, I would have much rather been into Kung Fu. The simple truth is I didn't know about that. I knew about Bruce Lee, but quite honestly, Bruce Lee is very overrated. You have to remember, guys, he's an actor above all things. He was genetically very fast. His um, his nervous system, I think he had some kind of freak genetics. But the truth of the matter is, I don't think he was really that great of a fighter. I think he was just insanely fast for whatever reason. He practiced Wing Chun, which to me is just a sports fighting. It's not really real fighting to me, anyways. That's not to say you can't help defend yourself using it, but um, he didn't practice old school kung fu. Bruce Lee was. That's why people call him the father of MMA. He didn't utilize any of the ancient kung fu. And because of that, I'm honestly not that big of a fan of him. But if you like Bruce Lee, more power to you. I mean, his movies were great. Enter the Dragon was a great movie. I loved that movie as a kid. It actually got me into martial arts. But yeah, I think Bruce Lee is extremely overrated, and I just have to say that. Um, but yeah, unfortunately in America and other countries too, we simply just aren't exposed to a lot of kung fu. Of course, there are some kung fu movies out there, stuff like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and that's all great. And I love Donnie Yen. I think Donnie Yen is an awesome guy, but again, Donnie Yen, I would consider him more of a modern fighter, not so much into the traditional ancient styles. And because of that, I too feel he is overrated as a fighter, but still awesome guy. I love the movie Ip Man. I think it's a very fascinating story. The teacher of Bruce Lee and, teaching all those people on the rooftops of a building, that was very fascinating, but I do not by any means think that Ip Man was the best fighter in the world. I'm sorry, I would have to disagree with that. If I had to say one of the best fighters in the world, honestly, it would probably be someone from 1,000 years ago. It wouldn't be anyone you really know of well. We'll just put it that way. The most humble fighters are the best fighters. The Shaolin monks are living proof of that. I mean, really, if I had to say a best fighter, it would be a Shaolin monk. And thank God the Shaolin Destiny is still going strong. Shaolin monks are still around even to this day, which is incredible. Um, but it is what it is. People like different styles, and that's fine. I think that they're all very fascinating, but the truth is, everything is from Kung Fu. I mean, everything. Everything you could want to learn comes from Kung Fu. I used to be more liberal, and I would say like, well, you can learn stuff from different styles, but really, it's not true. Everything is based off of it. The kicks, all Taekwondo is based off of Kung Fu. Muay Thai, the flying knees and the elbows, that's all based off of Kung Fu as well. Kung Fu is notorious for using every part of your body. The science of Kung Fu is exceptional. And it's so awesome to know that these people understood fighting 1,000 years ago more than most people know these days. I mean, that's really interesting. That fascinates me. But really, it's kind of sad because that sort of says most people are more into, earning medals and trophies and things of that nature. But look, I could rant about Kung Fu all day if I wanted to, but the truth of the matter is, guys, if you really want to further yourself as a martial artist, if you really want to advance, definitely look into Shaolin Kung Fu. Definitely, I mean, any sort of old ancient Kung Fu, even Wu Dang Quan is really cool, but I think Shaolin Kung Fu is the best style. There's actually a place where I live that teaches it. There perhaps might even be somewhere around where you live too. It's pretty rare to find, but if you can find a Kung Fu studio where you live, definitely look into that, guys. Also, guys, I want to end this video by saying this. I'm not against sports fighting, but you have to remember, at the end of the day, all that stuff is a sport, okay? It's not really martial arts, it's a sport. But you can still use it to defend yourself. I'm simply telling you that you'll be a much better fighter when you can broaden your horizons. I believe in a few hundred years, most people will do Kung Fu. I think that it just takes a long time sometimes for humanity to really understand things and to, evolve on certain things. So yeah, I believe in a few hundred years, not in my lifetime, but perhaps 200, 300 years, I think most people will utilize Kung Fu, but it sucks I won't be able to see that. But I believe one day that will be the main style people do. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.